Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Christine. This is Mr. Bangles, and that means you're watching Hobby's Corner. Thank you for stopping by the channel today. Today I thought I would do a tutorial. We are going to take recycled jewelry and turn it into a charm bracelet. The only piece on this table that isn't an old piece of jewelry are actually these charms. These charms were wine glass charms that I had picked up in a jewelry bag. They came on this ring. So these would have been attached to this ring, and they would have been what you could have put around the bottom of a wine glass. So your guests would know which wine glass was actually theirs. And so we can see here, this is a little goblet, sorry. This is a bunch of grapes. This one, I believe, is a slice of cheese. This is the wine opener. This is the cork. And this is a corkscrew opener. So we're going to recycle these and turn this old segments that I salvaged from a broken necklace into a charm bracelet. We also have over here some beads that were taken from old accessories. One was a bracelet, one was a necklace. Some of them actually already have some wired connectors here. So we got lucky there. We didn't have to, make our own. We will have to make some for the other pieces. And we're going to take these beads and add them on to our charm bracelet to fill it out once we add these individual wine charms. We are also going to be using these head pins. They have a nice little ball at the end that will stop beads from sliding off of them. And we're going to make our own little loops and connect them to these segments here. And we're going to connect these pieces with jump rings. And we're going to add the charms on with much smaller jump rings that you can see there. So let's go ahead and get started and turn these old eclectic pieces of broken accessories into a new charm bracelet. The tools I'm going to use today are my, I guess they're flat nose. I don't know what they're really called, to be honest. Just some pliers. You could use any kind really, and I'm going to use the round nose. You do need to use these if you're going to be using the head pins in order to make that loop with the bead. So let's go ahead and start to attach what's going to be the base of our bracelet. Because I can see that these are relatively larger segments, I'm going to use a much more dense jump ring. That way I will know that it's going to stay together pretty good, and we're not going to have, the chance of it falling apart. So I'm going to take this jump ring, I'm going to grab the end here, I'm just going to add it on, and then I'm going to connect that to the next piece. And I'll just close it. Till they meet. And then we'll grab our next jump ring. And we're going to start to connect it. Ooh, decided to go flying away. We'll connect it to the next piece. And then do the same here. So we're just connecting all of these pieces together. Close it up. I like to work with jump rings. I find they're relatively easy. It's easy to make unique pieces because all you got to do is open and close them. Close that one up. Grab our next jump ring. And we'll add this piece here. I already pre-measured the length of the bracelet. You have to always account for how long you need it, but also include the length of your clasp. clasps will sometimes force your bracelet to be a bit longer if you don't consider that when you're planning out the size. Because it does add that extra, about, depending on the size, it can add up to half an inch, and if you're using toggle clasps, it can add a lot more length as well. This one is giving me a hard time. There we go. Once you start to do this, you'll get really good at it, and you'll just be able to fly through if you want to do it quickly. Some people like to take their time, and you know, it can be relaxing for them to make jewelry. I think it's starting to look wonderful. Yeah, so these squares actually were from an old necklace that I found in a jewelry bag that was broken, and I didn't throw them away. I disassembled the necklace and kept all the parts. So now we have our base to work with. We can even go so far as to add the clasps on. So in this case, I'm using a really large spring clasp. The reason why I'm using a large one is because where it needs to connect is large as well. So if we used a smaller one, it would be harder for us to open it and get it to go around that piece. So plus I think just staying with the style of the bracelet itself. So I'm going to also use a thicker jump ring because the piece that is going to be used more frequently is the clasp. So we want that to be sturdy. So we've added that and finished that off. We don't need to add a jump ring onto the end here because the clasp is going to slide. I thought I planned this out. Maybe I was incorrect. Yeah, it slides right on. So we get that nice finish there. So we don't need another jump ring. So we can move the jump rings out of our frame now. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start to decorate and add the charms. I'm going to start by adding the wine charms, and where I want to add them, you want to evenly space them out. So you don't want to put a lot of charms towards the end of your bracelet. That usually goes at the back of the wrist. So what we want to do is we really want to populate this part of the bracelet, both on both sides. So let's start by balancing out where we're going to put our charms. And I'm going to put these, connecting them where the jump rings are. So you can see we get a nice balance there. So let's go ahead and add jump rings onto these charms. And for that, we're going to use much thinner ones because they are relatively lightweight. We don't have to worry about them coming off. So we're just going to open it. We're going to connect it to the loop on the charm. We're going to add it to our first hoop here. And because they're so relatively thin, we can actually close it with our finger. So we've just added our first charm, and you just continue and add the rest. Until they're all where you want them to be. Adding that onto that loop. You can see that pattern starting. I'm going to put this goblet here. Add it onto this hoop here, all facing the same side. We don't want to go on the other side because we want them to hang together. Now let's add the bigger charm. It's quite large actually. when you wear it, it's going to be very noisy. This one is going to bang on everything. Oops, I put that one on the same one. I thought I was on the other one. Let's just fix that. All right. Wasn't paying attention. Just click it on that jump ring there. See that lovely pattern starting? And take this little piece of cheese. It's very cute. We're going to add that on to the next free position. I've found quite a few boxes of wine charms at thrift stores. I think people get them given to them maybe in cheese and wine baskets. And I don't know why this does not want to go in. It must be I'm interfering with it here. And I'm surprised at how many I see are given away, and they're still brand new in the box. So, you know, if you're interested in, this is not on properly, if you're interested in making something like this, you know, and you don't want to spend a lot of money on charms, look for those at thrift stores, because you'll be surprised. You'll start to see them now that we're talking about them. You'll see more of them. And I've found glass ones of beautiful birds that someone has made. Just gorgeous. And I've kept those for charms as well, for earrings and accent pieces to necklaces that I've made. There's a lot you can do with them. These things want to really be my friend here, don't they? Okay. So there we've added all of our charms onto the bracelet. We probably could have moved it over one, now that I think about it, but that's okay. It is what it is, and we can always make the adjustments later if we don't like the way it looks. But what we're going to do now is we're going to take these really pretty crystal beads, and we're just going to start to fill in the spaces, and you can fill them in on either side so that you give a real fullness and balance to the bracelet. So we're just going to hook that on there. We were lucky. These actually came they were on a necklace, but the necklace was broken, so I didn't have to add those eye pins to them, but we're not going to have enough that are already pre-made, so I'm going to show you how to do that today as well. You can even add them not only on the jump ring, but you can add them to the square pieces if you wanted, just to give that fullness. So I think that's what I'll do here. So I'm just going to add one here. You would just need to open your jump ring just a little bit more. Oh, I just scratched my nail polish off. You cannot have nice nails or a nice nail polish job if you're making jewelry. It's just not possible. Use your finger. That's why my fingernails are so short. Okay, let's do the next one. Oh, that one had one on it. We'll just grab this one. Actually, let's grab a different color. Let's take this one here, this yellow one. We put that on there. Let's put the yellow one. You can put it anywhere you want. Let's stick it here. It's really about what you prefer from a design perspective, right? So you can see how it's really starting to fill out. It's starting to look nice. Let's take this blue one. I'm gonna open that. And let's put that blue one right here on this square. Okay. Now I think we have a couple more. This one This one we have 3 that still have little hoops. And I'm going to take the really big ones and put them, I guess we can put this big one right here. That was relatively easy. Oh, it's looking so pretty. Oh yeah, did you see that? These are magnetic, so you can get your tools so that they actually, the metal sticks to them. Makes it a little easier. Can also be frustrating if you're trying to get something off of it. I love the sound of a charm bracelet. And this is our last one that's already set up. So let's put that one in between the grapes here. Just squeeze it on there, get it in. There we go. Look how pretty that is. It's really starting to come along, I think. So now, oh, we do have one more. Oh, we have 2. Wonderful. We're really filling this bracelet out with very little work using recycled pieces, which is lovely. Love it. Okay. There we go. Let's add the big pink one. I'd love to add the big pink one right in the middle. I think we can fill this spot out here too. That one I bent a little bit too far. There we go. I think it's turning out to be quite nice. The brown one we will put in here. It looks like something came off. I'll have to check that. Oh, we can't have 2 brown ones side by side. I see a jump ring there that's floating freely. It might have been this and it came off, but let's put this one. Where should we put this one? Let's put this one right here. And that's the beauty of a charm bracelet. Just stick it wherever you want to. Fill the spots. Wherever you see a spot, fill it. Oh, look how pretty that is. Okay, so now what I'm going to show you how to do, we're going to take these 2 green ones because I think I need some bigger ones. And we're going to start working on the back side. We've got all these different colors here. And remember, when you wear it, they're all going to hang together, so they're going to look like they're in different spots. So it really doesn't matter where you put them. But what we're going to do is we're going to take these eye pins, or head pins. The eye pins are usually flat. You can see that? It's a round little ball. We're going to thread our bead on it. And what it does is that little ball prevents it from coming down. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give it a little bit of space, but not too much. I'm going to bend this wire so we get a loop. And then I'm going to take that wire and cross it over. And I'm just going to wrap it around it, just like that. Keep wrapping it. It's a little short. Keep it close to the bead. And if you need to, you can take your tool and just continue to wrap it like that. And then what I do, you can snip it if you want, or you can just pinch it. Gotta try to keep it still though. Keep it as flush to, you don't want any pointy parts, right? You want it to be flush. So there we go. So what we've done is we've just made this really cute little loop. And now we're going to take another jump ring and we're just going to connect it, fill the space. So I'm going to use this jump ring here because this is obviously what was on here did not stay on. So we've just put that new green one on there. Ooh, this is so pretty. I love it. Okay, let's start filling out the other side. So we're just going to continue to do what we just did. There's another way you can do this too, where you take it like this, you put, the further you bring your wire down, the bigger the hoop is going to be. So I don't want the hoop to be too big. I'm just going to bend it over and just really pull it through and behind and just wrap it. I'm really trying not to ruin my nails. I'm not doing a very good job of this tonight. Usually I do a better job. I think I'm feeling the pressure of the camera. Okay. Straighten it out and then give it a little pinch. What you don't see is I'm holding the pin at the bottom, so I'm trying to prevent it from twisting. I just want to get it as tight as I can. And then that little excess, you don't even need to have it on there. You can just snip it off as long as you have a bit of a wrap around it. And just pinch it closed. This wire is not the most cooperative. Struggling. Where'd you go? There you are. Come on, wire. Why are you giving me a hard time? Bend in, please. There we go. Okay. I don't like you today. You see how it's sticking out there? It's making me crazy. There we go. Sorry about that, everybody. It took me a little bit of time, but we got there. We eventually get there. So we've got a lot of green in some spaces except for over here. So I'm just going to attach this on the opposite side now and start filling out that other side, so we get a bit of a balance. Okay, let's try this again. What do you think so far? Not too shabby, eh? I think it's looking pretty good. I'm trying to remember how to do these. So I can bend it like this too. Bring it back, make a loop. I don't like that one, so let me try again. I just ruined that one, so bear with me. I'm going to stick with what we were doing. Let's stick with what we know. Bend it flat, bring it back, and then wrap it around it like that. There we go. That one was better. Okay. I'm going to snip off the excess that I don't need and just give it a little bit of a pinch. Okay, that one's done. And we'll get our jump ring. Let's add the one on we just made, and we don't have any pink over here, so let's add it onto this hoop. I think it's looking pretty good. It's getting pretty full. Let's do a couple more. Excuse me. I'm going to actually put this darker blurple one on. I like this color, the purple. I'm going to bend it all the way over like I did last time. Curl it around it. Just wrap that around there like that. Snip it off. Oh, I just almost snipped the hoop. Do you know what I did the other day? I was opening a jewelry bag, and I was like, in my mind, I kept saying, don't cut the necklace. Don't cut the knife. I cut right through the necklace, the one that was on the very top, and it was so nice. And now I have to restring it. It was such a bummer. I was so bummed. I think we could do with maybe something, trying to look at how this is sitting. Let's add something over here. Anyways, so this is pretty much, I think, where I'll stop, is just to, you know, you could fill it out to the point where it's so full, you know, it looks amazing. I've seen it. And I have these little gray ones, and I think what I'm going to do is maybe add those and just fill it out. But let's take a look and see what it looks like on. We'll take this gold one off that we have. And, oh, a little tight on me. But you can just see, look how pretty that is. We've actually, that's the other thing. When you put it on, you can see where you might need to fill it. But how beautiful is that? And that's recycled. It's amazing. I love it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that, you know, you'll look around your house and get yourself some jump rings and, you know, a clasp or two, and try to make something out of something, you know, that somebody didn't want anymore, or maybe that you've had sitting around that you thought just didn't have any more life in it. Thanks so much, everybody, for stopping by the channel. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.